Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Well, I suppose we'll wait for a couple of people to show up on here. Why not? Oh man, roasted chicken and roasted potatoes again tonight. Oh man. Damn, looking forward to that again. I can't do this all the time. It gets a little bit played out, but it's awfully good, I must admit that. Okay, what's the topic of the afternoon? Some people think it's bullshit on this marriage situation when you have a criminal case against you and so forth. And it's according to what you read. I know my lawyer has kind of raised his eyebrows on this. He's looking into it actually. Is Bummer going to really be able to marry his wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend? And some people have raised a few eyebrows too about this because part of the process, he has to go personally with his mate out of the detention center to sign certain papers and also would have to attend a marriage seminar. And that's where this kind of becomes a little bit unbelievable. And how they would have arranged something like that is kind of kind of questionable because you can't just leave the detention center. Um, I'm just going to say, okay, just figure that they figured something out and they can get married. But my attorney's still raising his eyebrows on that. He said he's going to look into that with immigration because something don't sound right with this whole process legally to do this. I'll find out more information on that when I can. Um, I've been a little suspicious about it myself. Um, Look, I don't care either way if they get married or not, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that something sounds a little suspicious. I've done a lot of reading on this, and some of it sounds pretty legit as far as being able to marry if you're not exactly a prime foreigner in this country because of, let's say, legal issues or otherwise. So that requires a little bit of further investigation. Now, the immigration, of course, will be notified about this proposed wedding because my lawyer is actually going to be making a trip to Manila soon, very soon, and to handle some matters. And he will actually bring this up. Is that a possibility under the circumstances? Under normal circumstances, anybody could marry a Filipina in the Philippines, and with no problem. There's a whole process you have to go through with Senemar, proof of your no marriage or marriage, and there's papers to sign. There's a ton of paperwork actually have you go through. Got to go through with this, and even during the process of such, you have to attend a class for marriage. Believe it or not, in the Philippines, it's required. And as far as the situation, if somebody's having has some legal impediments or something, that is where the eyebrows are basically kind of raised on this matter because there might actually be something to that. Now, we only wish well for the happy couple. Of course we do. We only wish well. And we know they're going to have a future of pure happiness and bliss. It's a marriage that will be made from the stars. It'll be blessed by God Himself and sanctioned by the Catholic Church or whatever it might be, or by the fixer that might do this. Sorry. But it's going to be quite interesting to see if that can actually be done. And I will find it very interesting how that works. To me, it sounds like if you're not paid up in your visa and you've been overstaying for 7 years and you're actually incarcerated, and on top of that, you have a criminal case against you with charges. There's one part of me that says, how the fuck is that even possible? You think about that. How is that even possible? But, however, not being a lawyer and I don't know all the law, I guess anything is possible if you know the right people, the right preacher, or whatever the situation might be. There might be loopholes in this whole thing. Getting married illegally can have a way of turning against you. However, because I am such a swell guy and I only wish well on people, that I hope he has a wonderful marriage in his detention cell. Something they will remember for the rest of their short marriage life. And remember, there's no divorce in the Philippines. Just keep that in mind. And he's no way he's going to get his chick to go to America. And he doesn't have the financial qualifications to be able to bring her into the country to act as her sponsor because that will never work. So, again, it comes to that one question. Why? Ginger? Ginger? Shut her up. My God. Good guard dogs, though, I gotta say, though. But sometimes, let people just pass by. They're not causing trouble. Can't even walk by. Talk about protective, being territorial. She kind of overdoes it, I think. But that's a good trait. That's good. That's a good trait. So the question is why? That's all. There's nothing complicated. Question is why would, whether it pertains to Goober or it pertains to anybody else, why would a Filipina want to marry a jailbird? Why would a Filipina, let's go down the list. Then moving down the list, why would a Filipina want to marry a troublemaker? Why would a Filipina want to marry a man who is dishonest? Why would a Filipina want to marry a man who has a questionable dating history? Very questionable dating history. Why would a Filipina want to marry a foreigner who cannot afford to support her? Why would a Filipina want to marry a foreigner who has a temperament? Why would a Filipina want to marry a foreigner when he has no capability of taking care of her? Why would a Filipina want to have to support a foreigner after a marriage if she's brought to the country of his origin or otherwise? So there's a lot of questions that go into why would a Filipina want to marry a person of that really good pedigree. Makes you scratch your head, doesn't it? Well, there are reasons why people do things like this. If somehow it benefits one of the parties in some way, legally, we're not talking about love here. We're talking about, a utilitarian type of situation. Of course we are. What the hell you think it is? So although we're all extremely happy about the presentation of notice of the wedding of the century taking place in a Mandawi detention center, and the well wishes are going out in droves, and the invitations are going out. as he opens his box of his LED ring, which is a good sign for the marriage of the future to be secure, happy, with a lot of bliss. Well, that remains to be seen. Oh, I had another laugh again. Somebody, do you remember Passport TV? His video of him with the of Goober with the 10 times oversized slippers, flippers he had on. Well, somebody asked him on his show, uh, what size were those slippers, or they call them flippers? Well, I don't know. They fit me comfortably. I like them. I suppose if you're going to go scuba diving, but I must admit, Passport's, and he couldn't help from laughing himself. That one was really good by Passport. Then he shows the picture of these oversized slippers that the goober was wearing in his cell. And I'll tell you what, I don't get many belly laughs. Not really, to be honest with you. But I've had belly laughs in certain situations. Somebody did some kind of a little skit, whatever, on somebody. It could have even been about me. I mean, if it was funny, I'd still laugh. If it was that creative, I will still laugh and say that was funny, even though it might have been against me. I have a sense of humor. But when I saw that video with the freaking slippers that were like, I don't know how many times the size he needed, 5 times bigger. And then when Passport made reference to and showing a scene of scuba divers with their big flippers on, then he, kind of chases back to the scene of Goober in the jail cell wearing those oversized slippers. That was a gut buster on that. I must say that was a gut buster on that, and that's a genuine belly laugh on that. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh shit! I got so entangled with this one subject. Jesus Christ! I actually forgot. No, that's not going to mean another show pertaining to what I was going to really be talking about, but I'm glad I did kind of talk about that. I'm suspicious of the whole thing. I'm actually very suspicious. Um, it doesn't add up to me. It could be a ceremonial wedding where they're not actually getting married, or it could be a real, genuine, allowed by the country to get married. Take your pick. It's a 50-50 thing on this. And I don't care whether they marry or not, and nothing's going to change. He's not going to change. She faces an uncertain future. Well, excuse me, I'm going to correct myself. She will face a certain future of disappointment and dishonesty and lies and unfaithfulness. I'll guarantee you it. Some people can change for the best, some people cannot. And this individual cannot change. So, good cheers to the future married couple. It'll be the live show of the decade in the great Mandawi Detention Center outside of Cebu, coming live from all the boxes and rats and cockroaches and dogs and cats running around. A marriage to remember. Give the man a hand for that one.